When you picture Alaska, this is the town that encompasses it all. Glaciers, wildlife, outdoor recreation, and more, where the mountains meet the ocean and the views are endless. Welcome to Valdez. We're Ash and Ian, and this is the place we've called home this summer in Alaska. Thanks for watching, and make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more of our travels. There's only one way in and one way out of here, and it's through Thompson Pass on the Richardson Highway. This isn't a very steep mountain pass, but rather a long, meandering one. It allows you to take in all it has to offer with its mythical scenes that make you feel like you're in Mordor or somewhere like New Zealand. Then there's the unsuspecting Worthington Glacier that, at some angles, doesn't seem like much, and others it shows you all its glory. It's common to drive through the clouds and have low visibility, but on a clear day, it has the most beautiful views up here. Winters can bring up to 900 inches of snow, and avalanches can shut down the highway for weeks, leaving residents in Valdez stranded. But in a town as resilient as this one, that's the least of their worries. Starting off with this train tunnel that was never finished due to a gunfight, or the earthquake that made the entire town disappear. There's so much to discover here before you even get into town. Keystone Canyon emerges, and suddenly, vertical rock faces tower 600 feet on either side of the highway. Waterfalls like Horsetail and Bridal Veil Falls cascade and plunge into the low river that runs below. It's a wondrous drive through this gorge that doesn't get old no matter how many times you drive it. Valdez sits at the top of a temperate rainforest that runs along the coast of southeastern Alaska. But fortunately, we've experienced a very sunny summer and the views are stunning when the sun is out. The town is usually booming with tourists coming in on cruise ships or RVs. There aren't many restaurants and accommodations, so make sure to book your stay well in advance if you're visiting peak season. On average, temperatures can range from 50 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit from June through August. But always make sure that you have more layers with you, especially if you're going out on the water. Fishing charters are huge in Valdez, and I'm not just talking about the size of the fish. Halibut the size of dining room tables, rockfish, lingcod, tuna, and of course, salmon, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. You can take home hundreds of pounds of fish on your trip to Valdez. Whether you're a seasoned angler or just casting a line for the first time, this small coastal town offers one of the richest, most accessible fishing experiences in all of Alaska. Salmon are a very interesting fish. At the Solomon Gulch Fish Hatchery here in Valdez, you can learn about their whole life cycle. Hatcheries help give these fish a better chance at survival by collecting the eggs and raising them until they are ready to be released into the ocean. There, they will swim thousands of miles over a span of 1 to 5 years. And the craziest part, they return to the same place that they were born to spawn. Millions of salmon swim their way up the fish ladders back to the hatchery. This is the end of their life. Once they spawn, they die. But for a lot of them, they become dinner to these guys. Sea lions. They know where the easy food source is, and they gorge themselves in salmon until they prop themselves up and take a nice, hard-earned nap. Marine life flourishes here in the Prince William Sound. Spotted seals, sea otters, and more live in these waters. You can also expect to see bald eagles, seagulls, Arctic terns, and over 200 other seabird species here. The Prince William Sound stretches over 15,000 square miles. Valdez is nestled at the head of a deep fjord in the Chugach Mountains. And as you follow the tides outward, the sound opens up into the Gulf of Alaska. Here, cold, nutrient-rich waters surge in from the open ocean, mixing with fresh water from the land. This meeting of waters creates one of the most productive marine environments on Earth. The best way to experience it all is to get on a boat, and there's one tour that will get you closer than you could ever imagine. This is Captain Fred. He's 86 years old and he's been giving daily tours on his boat, the Lulu Belle, since 1979. Not only is this his boat that he built, but also his home of 46 years. You're invited in by oriental rugs, photo memorabilia, and the smell of fresh-baked muffins. You heard that right, the captain's team members, his granddaughters, made fresh-baked goodies for purchase throughout the trip. It's a long day on the water, so pack a lunch and make sure that you bring everything you need. He takes small groups out for day cruises and keeps you out until you see everything. Of course, you'll see sea lions, maybe some puffins, and most definitely whales. What an awe-inspiring experience to see a mom and baby humpback whale. The main attraction on this tour, though, is the mighty Columbia Glacier, stretching over 30 miles in length and nearly 3 miles wide at its face. Captain Fred has estimated that it has retreated more than 14 miles since he's been taking people out here. This retreat has created a chaotic and beautiful seascape. Massive icebergs and newly revealed rock formations that haven't seen daylight in thousands of years. The temperature drops significantly by the glacier though, so make sure that you've got that extra layer with you. This was truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and Captain Fred and his team made it that special. That's not the only glacier you can experience here. Although the Valdez Glacier has retreated behind the mountains, you could get on a kayak and paddle through the icebergs of the Valdez Glacier Lake. The water from this lake runs through the glacial plain where the town of Valdez formerly sat. On Good Friday in 1959, Valdez was hit with a 9.2 magnitude earthquake, which in turn caused a tsunami. But it wasn't really either of these things that caused the town to disappear, but rather it was the unstable glacial silt along the edge of the port of Valdez. When the earthquake struck, the violent shaking triggered a submarine landslide beneath the town's harbor. Tragically, 32 people were killed, but over the next 3 years, the entire town of Valdez was relocated about 4 miles west to a new, safer site on bedrock. Today, the old Valdez town site is a quiet, grassy field with a few remnants and signs marking where the town once stood. And of course, many people think of a different tragedy when they hear about this town. The Exxon Valdez oil spill of 1989, when an oil tanker struck a coral reef and spilled over 11 million gallons of oil into the Prince William Sound. Even today, pockets of oil can be found beneath the surface of beaches. Wildlife was severely affected, but fortunately most species have rebounded with time. Speaking of oil, this is mile 0 of the Alyeska oil pipeline that we just followed all the way to Dead Horse in the Arctic Circle. You can learn all about this and more in the 2 wonderful museums Valdez offers. There's so much to discover here, and we hope that you'll be inspired to visit this beautiful place after watching. Once a gold rush gateway, Valdez today stands as one of Alaska's most stunning and storied towns. From the deep fjords that line the coast to the winding canyons carved by glacial rivers, this land holds the echoes of explorers, fortune seekers, and the resilient communities that followed.